Only 3 days later, another powerful figure entered the fold of Islam, Umar, son of Al-Khattab. He was bold, fearless, and respected across Mecca. But until this point, he had been one of the most bitter enemies of Islam. One day, the Prophet, peace be upon him, raised his hands in supplication and said, "O God, strengthen Islam with whichever of the two men you love more, Umar or the son of Hisham." God chose Umar. At that time, conflicting emotions raged inside him. On one hand, he was devoted to the customs of his ancestors and indulged in the lifestyle of pre-Islamic society. On the other hand, he couldn't help but admire the Muslims, their strength, their unity, their unwavering faith. One evening, Umar set out toward the sacred mosque. There he found the Prophet, peace be upon him, reciting the Quran. He stood and listened. The Prophet was reciting the Reality, chapter 69. As Umar listened, the verses pierced his heart. These were no words of poetry, no ramblings of a soothsayer. They were divine. Indeed, this is the word of a noble messenger. It is not the word of a poet. Little is it that you believe, nor is it the word of a soothsayer. Little is it that you remember. This is a revelation from the Lord of all creation. Quran 69, verses 40 through 43. At that moment, the truth entered his heart, but it was still buried beneath years of tribal pride and old traditions. Umar's mission to kill the Prophet, peace be upon him. One day, Umar, consumed by rage, drew his sword and left his home with a mission to kill the Prophet. Along the way, a friend stopped him and asked where he was going. Umar shouted, "To end this man Muhammad! He has divided the Quraysh, insulted our gods, and turned our people against each other." His friend replied, "Then you should deal with your own family first. Your sister and her husband have already embraced Islam." Furious, Umar turned and stormed toward his sister's house. As he approached, he heard a voice reciting the Quran. It was Habab, an early companion of the Prophet, reading aloud from chapter Taha. When Habab heard the sound of footsteps, he hid. Umar burst into the home, demanding answers. His sister and her husband tried to hide the page. He shouted, "What was that I heard?" They denied it, but Umar grew more furious. He struck his brother-in-law. When his sister tried to protect her husband, he struck her too, drawing blood. Then she cried out, "Yes, we are Muslims. We believe in God and His Messenger. Do what you will." Umar paused. He looked at his sister's bloodied face and softened. "Let me see what you were reading," he said. His sister replied, "You are not pure. Go and wash first." He did. Then he read, "Indeed, I am God. There is no God but me, so worship me and establish prayer for my remembrance." Quran 20:14. His heart trembled. "How beautiful, how perfect this is," he said. "Take me to Muhammad." At that moment, Habab came out and exclaimed, "O Umar, rejoice! I heard the Prophet, peace be upon him, say, O God, guide either Umar or the son of Hisham. I hope you are the one. Umar enters Islam. Umar went straight to the house where the Prophet, peace be upon him, was meeting with his companions in secret. Sword still at his side, he knocked on the door. One of the believers peered through the crack and gasped, "It's Umar, with his sword!" Hamza, may God be pleased with him, stood up and said, "Let him in. If he came in peace, we welcome him. If he came with harm, we'll end it with his own sword." The Prophet, peace be upon him, approached and took hold of Umar's garment and sword. Calmly he said, "O Umar, what brings you here?" Umar replied, "O Messenger of God, I have come to believe in God and in you, and in what you have brought from your Lord." The Prophet, peace be upon him, beamed with joy. Together the companions shouted, "God is the greatest!" And Islam had gained one of its strongest supporters.